let's continue on with 2021. Summer 2021. Last was that late night comedy thingamajig. Thursday. Couple things here in September. 2nd of September 2021. Katie Halper, Time's Up, sold out Me Too movement with defense of Andrew Cuomo, Joe Biden, unquote. The Hill, 28 August 2021. This is a real shame, a travesty, granting further credence to the idea that our media, our activism, and our government are interested in only the three worst things: division, distraction, derision. Not public service, not integrity, not justifying their support, not helping, just reputation, political access, and the dollar, like any business. Real shame no one thought to just include business and the underserved together in their orientations and endeavors. It's just anything to not have people look their way too closely, fighting for smaller and more bifurcated, diminishing demographics rather than shoot for the whole and trust and duty. Biggest demographic spanning all the others is still the workforce and workers, yet we're still asking them to make do with $7.50 an hour for $700 a month's rent. Do the math. Rent's supposed to be 1/4 of monthly earnings. Savings, upward mobility, a reliable economy, none happen without that parity. Might really need to institute those term limits and conflicts of interest ideas now, and do some regulation and restrictions of our own to reduce fraternization and influence and apathy. Get some daylight between politicians and the media, activists and politicians, and all of them from business and lobbyists. Having severed ties, we then begin the collective bargaining again, and the initiatives to include each in focusing on people rather than power and prestige. Reinvesting profits nationwide back into communities, small businesses, helpless individuals, and housing. Ultimately, for businesses, continued benefit and long-term revenues and larger profit margins. Enabling businesses to pay workers better with the increases earned. Maybe throwing in on-site daycare and nursery services nationwide too. No base, no security, not for customers or workers or businesses themselves. 30% of profits does the trick, shared out equally among the first three, eliminating annual tax liabilities, bypassing the government altogether, housing being the only investment businesses can take ownership in, their contributions being returned after a decade, shared by states, earning pure profit for another, then sunsetted, states then having self-sustaining and perpetual revenue streams all to themselves. 3 decades of this practice has everyone sitting pretty. Anyone else want to chip in, help with saving the world? Change the derision, change the division and distractions, keep hitting true, love. Same day. Joe Rogan COVID diagnosis triggers media firestorm. Also from The Hill. Same date, 2nd September 2021. Creating controversy over alternative treatments. We were talking about this today, an old hypnotherapist friend and I. the trust issue and it deflecting away both criticism and doubt. We came to the conclusion that this is it, that due to their ingrained distrust, people seek the studies and evidence and remedies that fit with their biases, accepting only the information that confirms them. An example was used to define the mental state. A person volunteering for a hypnotist show, predisposed to being hypnotized for being eager. Not being hypnotized in this state would be the oddity, meaning folks who want to be convinced get convinced, dismissing quality evidence for anything that satisfies pre-existing conclusions, nothing else. It's not just confirmation bias. It's that combined with a narrow selectivity of evidence as representing the whole, the truth, its very existence proof enough to discount the mountains of better evidence contradicting it. It's not politics or gullibility either. It's psychology and belief creating a toxic cocktail of hubris and conviction, present among liberals and conservatives, both across the spectrum. Remedy? He says reason, I say emotion. The debate continues on. I'm right, by the way. What a prick. Such a prick. Reason's body is controlled by emotion's head, i.e., we feel before we think, developing a deep impression. Folks are just too far gone when that impression's wrong, foregoing challenging it. Emotion ruling things to keep them going in that direction. Reason will turn them around. In this case, fight fire with fire rather than water. Emotion again to turn the body back to reason. Compassion, commiseration, invitation, dark humor, humility, and well, just change the subject every once in a while to quash the ubiquitous obsession. Eventually, you'll get to a topic they haven't heard of and are curious about, but haven't much tilled. The comparison between the two does something positive inside, opens up a window, creating a new, more positive impression on which to build. Right? That was a fun one. How long that one? Almost 8 minutes. Righto? Thank you now.